All right. So, Jim, want to know why we don't like Cena, eh? Well, allow me to explain why I personally am not a fan of John Cena, the WWE character. I couldn't give a shit about him as a person, to be honest. So, yeah, just thought I'd get that out there. Um, let's see. I remember when John Cena debuted. I watched it. I remember seeing it the week it happened. It's like a couple of days after it was broadcast in the States, and he wrestled Kurt Angle. Now, I knew they were going to do something with that guy back then. And when did he debut? 2002, late 2002. So I was like 16 then, and I could still tell that they were going to push this guy. Just like, you could tell that they were pushing Brock Lesnar at that, as they were going to push Brock Lesnar like really soon, and they ended up doing that. But this isn't about Lesnar. So Cena comes along, and the guy he's just a boring. He starts off with a boring nothing gimmick. Yeah, he had a terrible haircut. That's more funny than anything, you know. Eventually, by 2003, he debuted a rapper gimmick, and he started rapping, and they were horrible at first, and the crowd hated it. He got good heat for it, so he's getting noticed, and suddenly the guy's raps improved. He started rapping about Benoit, Angle, Team Angle. He started rapping about Stephanie. He started rapping, and all his raps were dirty and, were real misogynist towards women, to be honest. A lot of them, some of them were racist. Some of them were, getting the crowd to fill in the blanks, like getting us to swear, or you to swear, because whatever. Then the guy started to change just a little bit. He started to mellow out a little bit. When he started towards the end of 2004, right? Just before WrestleMania 20. And he tapped out to Kurt Angle and No Way Out, and that's when Angle and Eddie Guerrero went at it later on that year at WrestleMania. But since that point, John Cena has not submitted. Yeah. Again, just one of the fakest things I've ever. It's just so fake. It's unbelievable. It's not believable. The guy changed, okay? And when he finally beat JBL for the WWE title, I was more grateful that JBL didn't have the WWE title. And that, okay, here's a new young guy with the belt, right? Well, what does he do? He immediately starts off with the wrong foot with me, because as far as him being a champion is concerned, I started to give the guy a bit of a chance, and he debuts this spinner piece of shit bling thing. I don't identify with anything like that. Nothing in my country is like that's just that culture is not native here. It's just nothing I identify with it, and I'm not like hating on hip hop culture or anything like that. I don't identify with it. So I thought that was garbage, and I don't think it had any business turning the WWE Championship belt that was supposed to be looked at as a real world title and turning it into a crappy looking toy. Okay, and it stayed a toy until 2012. 7 years of that piece of shit title because of John Cena, because he was the face of the company, handpicked to be the face of the company. Hand goddamn picked. Yes, out of a panic because a lot of guys left. Guys like Brock Lesnar, guys like Goldberg, guys like Steve Austin, guys like The Rock. Triple H wasn't cutting it as the face, as this bad guy. He wasn't. Yes, he was good. Yes, he was a much more believable heel than anyone in the company today. And he would, he's much better. Even then, Triple H was still improving. And Triple H turning face was one of the best things to ever happen, which happened later on, thanks to John Cena. Because by the time John Cena got to facing Triple H at the next WrestleMania with that toy belt, when he turned into the Marine, it wasn't the fact that they never told us or explained anything. The guy made a movie and became the Marine. Pretty logical, pretty easy to follow. So he's doing his 3-finger salute, right? Which, in my mind, is giving me the finger, telling me to read between the lines. Okay. You're like, come on, you're just looking for a reason to hate the guy. No, really. That's how I see it. And the guy was, again, he'd been winning every match he'd been in pretty much since 2005, and this is now the end of 2006. Sorry, midway 2006. Triple H tapped out at WrestleMania. Triple H tapped out to a rookie at WrestleMania after dominating for years over our interference or not, beating our, this is part of wrestling, but all of our favorite wrestlers, Goldberg, fucking The Rock, Steve Austin, Rob Van Dam, all the endless names. And people who are fans of Triple H probably think that's funny. But yeah, I'll take Triple H over John Cena, thank you. Okay? I would love to see Triple H wrestling again full time. But anyway, regardless, he made Triple H tap out. And the guy's crying like he's just won the belt. It's just so fake. It's so fake. So yeah, that was horrible. So there was there's a whole lot of people, right, at my place watching that, thinking, and it was just silence. And at least the bad taste in my mouth, because in the other world title match, no disrespect to the late great Eddie Guerrero, rest his soul, but Rey Mysterio had no business being the world heavyweight champion. He's too goddamn small. This is wrestling. He's too small. He's 155 pounds. That's not a heavyweight. It would have made more sense if he was the WWE champion, on that other hand. But that big world heavyweight championship just didn't make sense. They had ways of getting around it, but still, Rey Mysterio won the world title, then John Cena made Triple H tap out. Or was the other way around? I didn't like it. Because someone died, Rey Mysterio got given the world title, and John Cena once again retained his world title, while the other guy who was on the rise at the time, Dave Bautista, was a much more interesting, believable, and enjoyable wrestler to watch. And a lot of the marks today may not agree with that, but that's fine, because they love watching big, long plethora, a massive fucking inventory of flying moves and all kinds of shit. And that ain't my cup of tea. I like seeing people like Goldberg power slam people. I like seeing that flippity, kicky, false finish mania fucking suplex goddamn city matches. Yeah, I do like that stuff. The SmackDown division, on SmackDown, this cruiserweight division was one of my favorite parts of SmackDown when it was a separate brand. And John Cena was ironically on that brand in those days. But yeah, anyway, we'll keep going. So John Cena's gotten through 2006 now, and we have sat at every pay-per-view. We have enjoyed the ones from SmackDown that Dave Bautista is on, that The Undertaker is on, but everyone from Raw, John Cena, and he's holding the title I care about. And keep in mind, the spinner belt is making me hate him even more. It's not a spinner belt. It's not meant to be a spinner. Is the UFC going to make their title a spinner belt? Hell no. So he continues to win. He continues to beat these guys who are clearly better in the ring than him. It's like quite clearly the level, like the difference in their wrestling ability, you know, like, and I'm not a wrestler, but it's so obvious, like the guy was out of place. Just look at his match with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. He was out of place. He got carried hard. Nowadays, it would be a lot better because Cena's improved a lot. But right now, I mean, at that time, it was garbage. And this guy's boring. He's gone from cutting all these edgy, interesting promos to just being a douchebag, a choir boy. Okay, he's not Super Cena yet. What happens after he loses the WWE title? He has to give it up because he tore his pectoral muscle. He comes back 3 months later. Okay? And wins the Royal Rumble and goes to WrestleMania. He got pedigreed and pinned by Orton. Okay? John Cena lost a couple of matches in 2008. He also lost at Backlash, lost one match to JBL, then beat JBL twice. That was the beginning of a very familiar story. So on the odd occasion that someone does overcome the giant Cena monster, he just gets dragged back down to earth real quickly and drowned underwater for a while. You beat me, well, I'm going to drown you. He gets injured again later that year because him and Batista in a very well built up match and a very good match, one of his better matches, John Cena is beaten clean by Batista. First time I'd ever seen that since he became the WWE champion in 2005. I'm pretty sure that's the first time I'd seen him actually lose clean. No bullshit, no excuses, no ref, no weapon, no nothing. Clean pin. Okay. And the guy was, what, a 3-time world champion by then? 4-time, maybe? I'm not sure. So he goes away and gets neck surgery. How does John Cena get inserted back into the program? 3 months after neck surgery? This guy takes human growth hormones for sure. And hey, I don't actually blame him. If Cena's on roids, good for him. I don't care about that stuff. He gets a world heavyweight championship shot. And the Shawn Michaels Chris Jericho feud that ended up with Jericho keeping that world heavyweight championship. He loses to John Cena in his first match back. Excuse me. After he lost to Batista, which was meant to be a #1 contenders match. So he loses a #1 contenders match, gets booked back straight away into a world heavyweight title match, and then wins that match. This is why we don't like this guy. That is fucking fake. That is fake as shit. The guy has been hit with everything under the sun and kicked out of matches, even at this point in his career. So no one, not even Randy Orton, can win against this motherfucker. It's not it's just so fake. It's too fake. Not even The Rock won that often. In fact, I remember him jobbing out the majority of his television career, and it never hurt his popularity at all. So that excuse is a bullshit excuse, because I've heard that excuse before. I've heard it. You know, you Cena fans out there, you have every right to express your opinion about how you feel about Cena. But, you know, I'm not one of these chodes who are pretending nowadays. There's a lot of pretenders out there. I will get to them, believe me. I'll get to that. But yeah, this has angered me. It's a lot of people aren't interested in wrestling anymore. Not like my friends I'm talking about now, my personal life. They don't give a fuck about it. They used to like it, but now they just think it's a joke. Already in 2009, 2008. So we go into 2009, and John Cena ends up with the World Heavyweight Championship, and he loses it, only to win it back and then lose it again. So he got his WrestleMania 25 moment on top of his triumphant moment at home in his hometown at Survivor Series to win the belt after losing a #1 contender match. Yeah. Only to lose it again at Backlash, right? Only to win the belt again later in 2009. And then beat Randy Orton. And then beat Randy Orton in an I Quit match. He's never lost an I Quit match. Fake. Fake as hell. It's disgusting. It puts you off. It's not just, oh, this is a negative character. It's a negative character for a lot of reasons. You know? And thinking about this shit is sort of winding me up a little. 2009. I mean, it's just a blur. It's the same shit. 2010. I'm starting to get really sick of this guy. He's still the fucking WWE champion. He finally goes down at Elimination Chamber because Batista turned heel and got a title match for no reason and then won the belt after he won the belt in the Elimination Chamber. So that's one of his 15 title reigns right there, about a 2-minute reign. Then he just makes Batista tap out. The only guy he hadn't beaten. He had stopped. People talk about the Rusev Bray Wyatt thing from nowadays. He was already doing that to guys like Umaga back in 2008, 2006. Actually, I take that back. So anyone who came into the company and got on a big role, they would beat Batista, they'd beat The Undertaker, but when they came up against John Cena overcomes, and this is at the point in his career, we wouldn't even lose one match in the feud. Look it up. You know, it pisses people. It's a waste of money. Is what it is. It's a waste of money. It's not entertaining. And then the character himself is changing so much and is being corporatized. He is a corporate champion. I don't feel sorry for anyone. You know, if anyone can, whatever you can get out of the WWE. That's why I don't hate guys like Sting, Lesnar, Taker, who are on fucking big money. I don't hate them for that because the company's shitty and they deserve to have to pay out the ass to get these guys. And if John Cena was a little smarter, maybe he could do the same thing. But that's in the present, and we're still in the past. So Batista loses 3 matches in a row to John Cena. He loses Last Man Standing, taped to the bottom rope. One of the most PG things I've ever seen in my life. I will never forget that. As far as professional wrestling goes, you know. Obviously, I actually don't really think about this shit very often, but going back, you know, your video sent me back, you know, because I was one of those hardcore John Cena haters. Not like the guy at all. I didn't go to a wrestling event that came to the city because John Cena was at it. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not giving that arsehole a single dollar. You know, this is, you know, keep in mind, the guy's not heel yet. So he beats this new group. A new group comes along. And I am unaware of all of this because after WrestleMania and the 2 pay-per-views after that where Batista quit, I quit too. And I got into UFC and I started watching other shit. Lots of other shit. And I forgot about wrestling, didn't keep up with it. I wasn't in the YWC then, so I didn't have the YWC to keep me posted on it. So I just stopped. And I didn't miss it. But I thought about it every now and then. And one day I heard about, in 2011, this guy called CM Punk sat down and cut a promo. And I saw this promo. And I knew it was scripted, but I thought, damn, you know, this scrawny guy who's covered in tats and looks greasy as hell is cutting a different kind of promo. Something more edgy, something more adult. You know, it's not even about cursing or cussing people out. It's something way more. It was a reasonably creative promo. And it was decent and got my attention again. So I checked out what's been happening, and I see that there's a stable called the Nexus, which came along. And after some YouTube videos I watched, I saw that the Nexus suffered a defeat to John Cena in an unbelievably unrealistic fashion. And the Nexus had destroyed everyone in the WWE, every legend who was on the roster at that point who was still showing up, except John Cena. John Cena got hidings from them, but quite often John Cena got the better of them. John Cena had to turn and join them, and he still was the baby face, and he still screwed Wade Barrett. It was very poetic that he buried at TLC. He buried Wade Barrett under a stack of steel chairs. Very poetic. And where has Wade Barrett been since? Since being in the WWE title picture at that point, having a dominant faction and pinning guys like The Undertaker. What's he up to now? Where is he? Where has he been? Where the hell is Umaga? Umaga's still alive then, pretty sure. But anyway, I watched 2010, was pretty much glad that I didn't waste my time continuing to watch it. And I heard The Rock was coming back, which piqued my interest. And then I heard The Rock was hosting WrestleMania 27, so I checked it out. Saw a chode called The Miz was the WWE champion. That guy main evented WrestleMania and beat John Cena. Where is he now? That's more of the WWE's fault for ever allowing that match to occur. Should have been CM Punk. Should have been someone else. Not The Miz. The Miz is trash. He's got to go, like Metal Jim says. Cena still won the goddamn title a month later, even though he lost at WrestleMania. And then he lost the title to CM Punk. Controversially. Lost to CM Punk. Rey Mysterio wins the belt on Raw. Jobs out to John Cena later on Raw. Cena wins the belt again. CM Punk comes back. CM Punk beats him clean at SummerSlam. No excuses. Then Del Rio gets the belt. And then Cena beats Del Rio to win his 10th WWE title. The pattern is just, you can't be entertained by that. I don't see how people can be entertained by it. It's garbage. It's the same plot line. It's the same fucking outcome. It's boring. It's monotonous. It's tiring. As much as we might like wrestling or love wrestling, it's the same shit with this guy. And what happens? He finally fucking once again loses cleanly to The Rock at WrestleMania 28 the next year. And he apparently had the worst year of his career that year, despite beating Brock Lesnar in his first match in WWE in 10 years, a guy who was a UFC heavyweight champion. And I don't care what anyone says. Anyone who can win those belts, that's more legitimate of a world champion. That is a world champion, a real world champion in a real fucking sport. But he can't beat John Cena. He can put him in a Kimura, a jiu-jitsu hold. And you ever get put in the Kimura, you tap. Yeah, this is wrestling. The Undertaker tapped at SummerSlam. The Undertaker tapped out to the Kimura. But John Cena didn't, no. And he didn't even get injured. Oh, I'm going to be gone for a while. No, he's not gone. He's there the next night and then onwards. He lost to John Laurinaitis because Big Show knocked him out. And then he beats the Big Show. Then he wins at the next two pay-per-views. And then he lost at the end of the year to Dolph Ziggler because AJ betrayed him. Then he wins the Royal Rumble again. Then he gets his mighty fucking wish that he bitched, pissed, and moaned about and fucking cried about and blurred the lines with reality about, where he goes away from his character and sort of breaks away from this weird dude where, I love everyone and I love your opinion, to making excuses. You know, oh, I lost to The Rock and my marriage ended. This guy's garbage. He's so praised. Everything about Michael Cole's attention is about John Cena. You got to hand it to John Cena. Don't believe me? Watch a John Cena match and just listen to Michael Cole. Even when the other guy has the advantage, it's about John Cena, finding out about John Cena. No, it's not. It's not about that shit at all. It's just ludicrous. The guy's not that talented. He's not that big of a star. He never was that talented. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That must suck for John Cena's fans to hear, but I'm just being real with you. Even though a lot of people know who John Cena is, they don't watch the WWE and they generally won't really like John Cena or have any kind of real opinion on the guy. Everyone had an opinion on Hulk Hogan for a long time. Even my fucking old man knows who Hogan is. Doesn't know who the fuck John Cena is, though. Cena beats The Rock at WrestleMania 29. The Rock raises his hand. It's all about putting Cena over. Don't boo this man anymore. You people are wrong. You've got to like this guy. And then the little subliminal messages about the charity, about the military. If you don't like John Cena, you boo this man. Essentially, you hate children and you hate the military. I mean, you can deny that all you like, that they've never come out and said that, but that's what they're trying to do. It's a guilt trip. You don't think these guys can be psychological with their fans? These manipulative people? They're manipulative people working all throughout WWE. Vince is a manipulative person. Okay? And every face of the company has politicked, okay? Not just John Cena, but John Cena's obviously goddamn politicking. You know, that's... just more of the same shit, and it continues on. Do I need to keep going through 2012 and 13 after its apparently worst year ever? Let's keep going through 2013. Another guy who's on a winning streak. Ryback. He only lost to CM Punk, and he turns heel, gets a major reaction the next night after WrestleMania 29 when he beat The Rock. And the fans are very arsehurt about that. Ryback attacked him, and then Ryback just loses, and then becomes a jobber. Cesaro loses to him, becomes a jobber. There's a continuing theme here. The guy is being made to look way better than he ever was. And nowadays you have kids, because this has gone on since 2006. Okay, fuck me, like nearly 10 years of booing a face, and he is not turned. Every excuse is found for him not to be turned. I've never seen someone so protected in my entire life. And he's so replaceable. People say, oh, nowadays, I just want Cena to go away. Yeah, they're so sick of it. But even when John Cena's gone, I'm afraid the product sucks. I explained in my other video. Check that out if you want to know why I don't like the WWE and the wrestling product at the moment. Watch that vid. This is about John Cena. John Cena, I could do it for the children. I love you. I love you. I love you. You do not love me, John. You do not like the way you are treated. No one likes being treated like that. No one. You can maybe find humor in it sometimes, but it would get to you. It would get to anyone being hated on like that for that long. And the reason it sounds like the John Cena hate's sort of changing. It's become, in 2015, almost trendy to hate John Cena, because there are fans in the last 10 years growing up, seeing guys my age and a little bit older, hating this guy, telling this guy that he sucks, battling the Let's Go Cena chants. And now they're in on it too, because they're teenagers. And one, yeah, a lot of them can actually see a lot of things of why we don't like the guy. But number two, they're just trying to look cool for the adults. And that's what you're doing. Sorry, guys, but yeah, you're trying to fit in, and that's okay. Everyone was a young teenager at some point. You feel patronized? Too bad. Deal with it. Not you, Gemini. You're obviously not a teenager, but these fake Cena haters out there, they're idiots. They actually dilute it. Singing John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. Singing that doesn't accomplish anything. It's focusing on Cena. And it's so gay. That singing, it's so gay. I don't like that. But people are going nuts. It's the guy needs to turn heel. He should have turned heel nearly 10 years ago. This problem wouldn't exist, because the guy's character would have changed and expanded, and the charity and all that shit should never, ever, ever have been put on television. In the actual product that should have been inside WWE special, but never ever should have been brought out like 4 children dressed in John Cena t-shirts, full John Cena gear before WrestleMania 29. This is why I love you. I love the children. This is bullshit. That's psychotic. It's borderline psychotic to fuck with your fans like that, to that point, to try and make us feel bad about just not liking it. I don't give a shit if you don't like The Rock, if you don't like Brock Lesnar. No one's going through the efforts to make you like those wrestlers the way they've tried with John Cena. I have never seen it. Never. The biggest... Where's Bray Wyatt? Where are these people? I think Bray Wyatt's a joke, because he's been a joke ever since he lost to John Cena. The Shield running through everyone except John Cena. They never pinned him. And he botched the end of that match where he was in the team that lost to him too. Daniel Bryan, who took the pinfall. The guy stood up and then, oh no, and then just falls down. A guy who's been in the main event at that many WrestleManias made that kind of a botch on pay-per-view. The guy's a goofball. He has no character now. He has no credibility. He's not believable. He can win 26 World Heavyweight Championships. I don't care. He's not a greater champion than Chris Jericho. He's not a greater champion than Bill Goldberg is. He's not greater than Ric Flair. He's not, and I don't even really like Flair that much. He's not better than Hulk Hogan. Bottom line, Hogan, he's got nothing on Hogan. He's got nothing on these guys. And unfortunately, as dispassionately as I look at the WWE, no one's better than John Cena still, either. Everyone's the same boring people. And if anyone does sort of get some momentum behind them, they're going to job out to John Cena in an attempt to get the guy over. And it is what it is. So, you know, he owes his career is going to be meaningless if he doesn't turn heel. Bottom line, it's going to be meaningless. He's going to be known as, just think about his Hall of Fame speech getting booed at the Hall of Fame. He will get booed at the Hall of Fame. And all of the footage they want in the world, they'll have to edit it to get all the hate out of there, because it's been going for 9 years now. And it's going to be going for another 9 years if he sticks around. So, Gemini, I hope you appreciate this video from a anti-Cena guy like myself. Well, not so much nowadays. I really don't care about Cena. Like I said, I really don't like anyone in that company at the moment, except Brock Lesnar. But him and Lesnar and Taker, you know, they're guys. Brock Lesnar is from a time long gone, and the guy doesn't have a lot of years left in the ring. In my opinion, he does not. And Taker has even less time. So when these guys do finally retire, and if John Cena is still this guy and is still the face of the company, then yeah, I can see myself actually not caring enough to never go back to it. People can say bullshit. You always go back. I got my WrestleManias. I got my memories. I got my DVDs about fucking. I can get on the WWE network and watch old school stuff if I want. You know, I got stuff about the wrestling I cared about, and I don't care about these PG fucking people who have no character, and I don't identify with the fan base. How the hell can you cheer if you're a male and cheer Dolph Ziggler? Why do you go? Like, who thinks he's a world champion? Unbelievable. But you never know. That's my response for you, Gemni, and to anyone else who ever sees this video. You never know when I'm going to come back and shoot on your favorite wrestlers, because I got to tell you how I see it, and that's how I see it. And if you don't like that, well, there's fuck all you can do about it. It is what it is. More power to you. If you like wrestling now, if you like John Cena, whatever, go for it. Enjoy it. But don't tell me I ain't got no right to complain. And please don't associate me with these fake John Cena haters that we have in today's wrestling. I may look like I'm 16, but I am not. Alrighty. See you fuckers next time.